When it comes to building faster responsive front-end interfaces, React is a huge time saver and a very useful library for individuals and teams worldwide. I discussed the best React user interface libraries in my last video. This video is all about those React packages which will help you in saving time and energy so that you can focus on building beautiful and interactive applications. Let's start with the React testing library. As a smart developer, your goal should always be to write maintainable tests for your React components, isn't it? But how will you achieve that? By making sure that your test base is maintainable in the long run, so any refactors of your components, or in simple words, any changes to the code should not break the functionality. End-to-end type of test allows us to test components in a way that mimics real user interactions. This can be solved by the React testing library, which is a very lightweight solution for testing React components. It provides light utility functions on top of React DOM and React DOM test utilities in a way that encourages better testing practices. This module is distributed by the npm packages and can be installed by writing this command. You just say yarn or even npm install and @testing library/react, and you will be all set to work with the React testing library. The next is React Query. If you are already using React, then you know that fetching data with React is generally a process that involves a lot of code. We often need to use the useEffect hook along with useState to manage the fetch data, isn't it? This is where React Query can be extremely helpful. It can cut down on the code you write when making network requests. The codes that we had to write before can be replaced with the hook useQuery. Not just that, it also saves the requests that we make. So in most of the cases, if we have requested data before, then we don't have to make another request. We just have to read it from the cache. You can install React Query with npm or yarn this way. Formik is an open source lightweight library for ReactJS and React Native. Creating forms in ReactJS sometimes may require a significant amount of code, which depends on what is your need and how you want to manage each form field. And that is the reason developers are always on the lookout for smart tools that make their lives easier. And undoubtedly, one of them is Formik in React. Formik is extremely useful to handle form data with a state management very easily. It implements field level validations, handles error at field and form level, and also manages form submissions and has lower latency than Redux Form. To install it, you can type npm install Formik, or you can use the yarn to add the Formik. The digital age is changing so rapidly with technological advancements. React applications should be created for users keeping in mind the variety of devices in the market, which makes it necessary for these applications to be responsive. That is, these applications need to adjust their appearance and styling according to the user's screen size, or basically different devices as well. If you are a React developer, here is an extremely powerful tool that will allow you to create truly responsive designs in your React projects. It uses the combined power of breakpoints and media queries to define DOM elements which the developer wants to show, hide, or reposition. You can use the useMediaQuery hook to pass precise conditions, determining whether users are using a certain type of device like a cell phone, desktop, tab, or TV monitor. Here is how you can install it. And the last is Redux Thunk. Handling states in React application is always a complicated task, especially when it comes to global state management. Redux is a library which is extensively used to handle this. But there is a problem. With Redux, you can only do simple synchronous updates. You have to use a middleware like Redux Thunk if you need to handle asynchronous processes like API calls inside Redux. Thunk is just a function returned from another function. Basically, it's a middleware It allows you to write action creators that return a function instead of an action. It can be used to delay the dispatch of actions or to dispatch only if a certain condition is met. This is how you install Redux Thunk. The alternative to Redux Thunk is redux-saga. It uses ES6 features called generators, which helps us to write asynchronous code as well. If you want to know more about generators, check out the link in the description to get an exclusive copy of my JavaScript course on Udemy, which also has the latest interview questions asked in the top tech companies. So how does redux-saga work? It just simply attends to the dispatched actions and triggers an API call or any other side effect which you write. This is how you install redux-saga. There are numerous ReactJS packages to choose from, but which one do you use the most for your React projects? Let us know in the comments section.